And let us take deep breaths, precious hearts. And Akasha is with you. I thank you, dear hearts, for your presence here this evening. We are truly entering into great and grander and important times upon your planet. September 22nd, 2010. A year ahead of schedule. Through the authority and the intervention of Emmanuel, the ascended Jesus Christ, the path of resurrection was opened for those awakening around the world. A path that by divine intervention would draw great intervention and assistance to those ones, to give them the greater opportunity to become everything they had awakened to rise up and out of the limitations of duality, and to be raised into such a divine expression of perfection and freedom. And through the course and path of this resurrection that would be ongoing for a number of years, would those ones who consciously choose this path be those that the ascended Jesus Christ spoke of long ago? Well, not that long ago. In the scheme of life on earth, 2,000 years is not that long ago. That the great Master prophesies that there are those who come after him, his works, their works will be all-encompassing. Those who come after him, their works will be greater than his own. They will be in every activity of life. And Master Jesus said, and I name them the untouchables. For there is no force, there is no human creation, and there is no human law that will touch these ones once they are resurrected and free. And they will go forth in their service to life as I have come into this world. And they, with the ascended and angelic host, will usher in another golden age upon this earth. And you will know the dawning of the first day of this age when the fifth sun rises. On December 22nd, from out your physical sun, that your planets of your solar system share with you, and in which your ascended and angelic family living in higher stratospheres and octaves share with you, the physical sun of your system of worlds will transform. And in that transformation, new great rays of light, fifth dimensional rays of light, will pour from the sun. I am not speaking of the sun of even pressure or what you refer to as sunshine. I am referring to what most often are the invisible rays of God's source that pass from every physical sun to all systems of worlds throughout this universe. The prophecy of the coming of the fifth sun is a prophecy of certain fulfillment. Presently, your physical sun to the dimension of your Earth planet releases powerful rays of light that are third and fourth dimensional in their quality and their action. On December 22nd, the rays of light from your physical sun will be fifth dimensional. A fifth dimensional ray of light registers only perfection and delivers perfection wherever those rays are projected. And the beginning of a 10,000-year cycle, a seventh golden age of undoing the duality consciousness and all that that consciousness has spoiled and wrecked upon this planet, spoiled and wrecked the powers of nature, the forces of the elements, and so limited the evolution of all kingdoms of life upon this earth, begins. September 22nd, 2012. Another historical event occurred. 2 years passed, September 22nd, 2010, which opened the way for resurrection to be available to whole groups under divine intervention. September 22nd, 2012, a new intervention in accordance to the divine plan for the fulfillment of the seventh golden age. The decree for this great activity, this event of September 22nd, 2012, that all of you are encouraged to take up, to embrace, to accept, to own, to welcome the full activity manifest in your life, is I am the cosmic law of the ascended Jesus Christ that has overcome the world. In full command and authority inside me and around me, that overcomes all human creation and human law that ever tries to touch me, now unto eternity. Blessed hearts. Grand events are about to unfold upon this planet. Unfortunately, there are hundreds of millions. I won't tell you the exact number, but there are hundreds of millions of people living on the earth who hate the light. And they may not come out and consciously say, I hate the light. Yet if you were to be able to search the deep psychological issues inside them that causes them to murder and destroy, create weapons of war, kill each other in the name of God. And you don't want me to go through the endless list of all that is wrong upon this planet. And as the son loves to say, if I could take you behind the stage of their lives, if I could take you behind the curtain, and I'm not going to walk the messenger's garment and have him standing behind the curtain like a son does, but if I could take you behind the stage of life and show you deep within these ones, you would see a hatred of the light. You would see people who have such deep core perception of all that has gone wrong on this planet. People who really believe, people who go to religions. Yes, religious people who have yet such rage and anger inside them, who are so angry against God for all the wrong. How could God have left us in this demise? God has abandoned us. God has abused us. You would be shocked at the very quiet hatred against God that is yet upon this planet. And I urge you to remember this, because you have the advent of two great events that are coming. One is continuous and unstoppable. The other is a 3-day event referred to as the great spectacle of light. The event that is unstoppable is what I have already spoken into. December 22nd, the fifth sun rises. When we use that phrase, we are referring to the core sun within the physical sun that determines the rays of light it delivers uniquely and differently to each planet of a solar system and to each octave of each planet. And the great outpouring of fifth dimensional rays, electronic lines of force to the earth, will start delivering such light in its all Christ perfection. Thank God. It will pass through the atmosphere of earth into the powers of nature and the forces of the elements, the structure of the earth, and with it will come great activities of the sacred fire. Our greatest concern as ascended beings is those people. We're not concerned about the mass of the people who are good people, great hearts. We're concerned about that portion of the mass of the people that are downright destructive, downright selfish, downright greedy, and who have for centuries of time held control of this planet. We are concerned about their reaction. And we are concerned of those who are even weaker than them, that will panic as there is a great sense of incoming light to the world. We are concerned as the light passes through the structure of your earth, forcing the vibration of the inner structure of your planet to reform, literally, yes, reform, and ready itself for a fifth dimensional structure. We are concerned of the depletion of the gas belts that does not allow the inner structure underneath the surface of the planet to move and shift safely as it is supposed to when a planet is undergoing transformation. You know what I am speaking. I am speaking of the tectonic plates. We are so concerned of much of the divine lubrication that surrounds these tectonic plates and allows them to move or shift around each other and slide into new places. And so much of the liquid light of the gas belts has been depleted that many of these tectonic plates, as your planet is finding, are literally colliding rather than moving around, colliding. And in that jarring collision, there is an uprise of those tectonic plates that brings about the trembling and the quaking that is known to you as earthquakes. Your own science in your world now sides with us. It is not just another period of change. Scientists are alarmed at the trembling that is going on in the earth. The poles of your earth, as prophesied, have shifted. But the tremendous shift of the plates within the earth are incomplete and will even shift more quickly as that inner structure begins to receive the great fifth dimensional rays of your earth sun. Every ascended being is concerned of the ongoing and constant emergencies that are happening on the surface of the planet. It is no pleasure for the ascended and angelic host, who have an infinite storehouse of the sacred fire above. A storehouse of the sacred fire that could so quickly restore your planet and all life upon this planet into a state of perfection. But as you have heard before, the third dimension is not governed or owned to the ascended and angelic host. It is leased to the people who are living on the surface of the earth. People who've been given free will. And as you have heard before, if the people use their free will to forget their own spiritual hierarchy, if the people use their free will to forget that ascended and angelic beings exist and are the guardians of all those who live in the lesser dimensions, and if in the people they start to hear these things, and people are hearing these things, especially in the democracies of the world today, people are hearing these things, especially in North America, regions, and South America to some degree too, regions of Europe, Australia, New Zealand. Many in the mass, good, constructive people are hearing these things. Do you know how they're hearing these things? Because most of them have at least one member in their family that is like you. And they know that you're studying these spiritual things. And of course, they think you're weird. And so it is, dear hearts. This is an activity. In these days, we knew what we would face in the end times. Let your consciousness be so clear about this one thing. For whether the people know it or not, you know it. And ultimately, this truth will fan out from your consciousness and begin to overlight the consciousness of the people. Let you know this truth with absolute clarity. The millions of years of the age of man and its crippling duality is over. December 21st, 2012. December 22nd, 2012 is the age of Christ consciousness. Let there be no doubt. Sing it, celebrate it, own it, welcome it, and make sure that you are telling yourself each day that you are part of it. Do you understand? It will be soon enough before these things come to pass on December 22nd, 2012. It will be soon enough that another conclave is upon us, the fourth conclave of each year, the Ascending Hearts Conclave. 3 suns come into alignment on the Friday evening of the Ascending Hearts Conclave. This alignment is being produced and overseen by the great creator beings of our universe who are known to you as the Elohim. This Advent, in preparation for the seventh golden age, to usher in more of your awakening, your resurrection, and to make real in your lives the Ascended Master gifts that have been given to you in your past, to activate within each of you that gift you may not remember, initiated by the Prince of Venus, your miracle mantle of the Ascended Master's sacred fire mastery, unlimited over everything. And preparing each of you to enter into the year 2013, making sure every cosmic law that is now to touch you does not allow anything of the human creation to ever touch you again. On the Friday evening, do you have a date for this, Leanne? Friday evening of the Ascending Hearts Conclave? On November 9th, perfect day, of the Ascending Hearts Conclave under the authority of the seven mighty Elohim of our universe, 3 suns will come into cosmic alignment. What does this mean? Mighty electronic lines of force will be drawn from each of those 3 suns, triangulating them. What are those 3 suns? The first is the golden sun's presence that the messenger referred to in the opening meditation. The golden sun's presence, the fiery furnace of God, the spiritual center, different terms mean same thing, that is unfolding in the sacred chest cavity of each of you. That is the first sun. The second sun is your physical sun, and you blessed hearts are most fortunate. While science tries to study the sun, you know things that science knows not. You know that within the physical sun there are great cities of light that are governed by the sisters and brothers of the golden robes, and it is they who govern the great rays of light from the sun to the planets and deliver different rays of light to each dimensional reality, octave, and stratosphere of each planet. And the third sun that I speak of, you might as well say it, the great central sun. That is correct. This triangulation, although overseen by the seven mighty Elohim, requires the divine assistance of your own higher Christ consciousness that we refer to as your higher mental body, and requires the assistance of Helios and Vesta, your godparents of the physical sun, and the workings of the brothers and sisters of the golden robes, that unique group of ascended beings who choose to evolve inside suns and planets. And so, blessed hearts, you might rewind months, a year back, in the many discourses that I've sought to encourage you. We will keep you updated. We will do everything to further your studies. We will bring to you attention. We will bring to your attention what is necessary by your effort. The prayers, the calls, the meditations. We will continue to offer you studies in developing your character, being the best person that you can possibly be. And we will continue to update you, yet the great recognition so that you place no pressure upon yourself. The great recognition must be with the amount of effort that we indicate to you, that we teach to you, that is required of you. This is not 0.1% of what it will actually be done to raise you up and out of limitation, to free you of the structure of duality. I remind you, dear hearts. So let's go back to an example of this, of many things that have been offered, many things that have been taught, many achievements because of your acceptance and things that were taught to you. Here is an example. Today you are free of all dualities. Forgive me. You are free of all veils of duality, of all your previous embodiments. The mass of the people have, I can generalize and I can say a person unawakened in the world who do not have this intervention upon them. There may be interventions some hundreds of millions years back, yet the mass of the people have anywhere from 75 to 500 veils of density. These are the veils of their physical realities from previous incarnations, from previous embodiments. And that's what holds the people unawake. That's what holds them gripped in density. And even though their heart may say, to you, I wish everything you were saying was true. But my religion teaches me I must fear God. I wish everything you were saying was true. But I've been brought up a different way. We are in interesting times, are we not? And so, dear heart, I just wish to bring in one piece to complete what I was speaking in earlier. And that is when I suggested that your ascended host and the angelic host are working over and working after emergency after emergency after emergency. You heard recently from the great god Tabor in a freedom class that many of the gods of the earth, Neptune, Virgo, and many more, many of them are being so distracted and have to pull away from what is their activities. The gods of the earth are those ascended masters who work with the great forces of creation. They work with the elemental beings. They are there to ensure that you have an atmosphere that is pure and enlivened with light. They are there to make sure the physical planet is evolving and growing and creating many rich activities within. They are there to make sure the water element of your planet is pure and rich and receives the sacred fire of God too. They are there to make sure that agriculture and plant and food continues to evolve in a state of perfection. Yet 90% of the work of the gods of the earth is set aside. Emergency after emergency after emergency. Nuclear reactors collapsing. Leaks of radiation. Tremendous oil spills in oceans and the water element. The air element being so charged with disgusting chemicals you know not of. Sudden happenings, birds falling out of the sky. Example after example of what I can give you, dear hearts, are emergencies after emergencies, in which the gods of the earth, those ascended beings who remain on your planet, are being caused, are occurring, where they have to divert so much of their work to handling those emergencies. And how do they handle those emergencies? They take some of the sacred fire that is coming in from above, that is directed by Archangel Michael, Saint Germain, and others, and they don't have the unlimited amount of the sacred fire. The only amount of sacred fire they can use and draw into emergencies is the amount of sacred fire that can get into your atmosphere in relationship to the amount of people who take time in their lives and make the calls for that intervention. What do you do, dear hearts? And you can see this reflected in the poverty in the world. What does a mother do when there are many children to feed and there is only a small pan of food to provide their children? Has to distribute that in small portions and perhaps give some of that food to her children that might be the weakest. This is what the gods of the earth are doing. Taking the amount of sacred fire that they can, that is offered. My goodness, everything upon your planet could be cleansed in days. Everything. Just imagine, dear hearts. Walk with me on this. If of the 7 billion people incarnate on the surface of the earth right now, and we'll just say 5 billion, because many of them are young people and they don't know of these things yet. But let's say 5 billion of the people are old enough and they had this to have this understanding, and in their prayers and in their calls, they are calling forth the sacred fire love from the angelic host, oceans and oceans of the sacred fire, to pour into the atmosphere of earth, the oceans, the powers of nature, and the force of the elements. If 7 billion people were calling upon their own great God self, I am, and the ascended and angelic hosts to release the sacred fire, love and purity and peace into all life inside and on the surface of this planet, this planet could be restored to a state of perfection in days. But we don't have that. And as you've heard over and over, the ascended host have to respect the free will of the people. Until that moment comes when the people's action threatens their extinction and the destruction of a planet. That moment has come. The intervention, therefore, is being allowed. But much greater intervention is yet required. And so for that part of the conversation, and regarding what I spoke to you of the tremendous light rays that will come from the sun, what is going to allow this to unfold as smoothly as possible is the sacred fire that offers the purification. And soon, dear hearts, you will be compelled by what you see on the streets to call forth from the ascended master octaves, from the angelic host, from the great central sun, oceans and oceans of the violet flame pouring over the people of the earth and silencing their panic, silencing their fear, silencing their rise to destruction. And that will be a good call to make, will it not? And so as I complete that piece, and now, dear hearts, O great golden sun's presence within me, flash the light of thy glory and grace. Flash the light of your love around me. To the physical sun, the brothers and sisters of the golden robes of the physical sun, beloved Helios and Vesta of the physical sun, our godparents, flash the light of your love around me. The world may not be ready, but I am ready to receive these fifth dimensional rays from the fifth sun. And to the great central sun, and the great cosmic beings in the great central sun, the Elohams, the Eloah, the arcs, the avatars, flash the light, the endless light of the great central sun in, through, and around me. My beloved I Am Presence, I have turned my attention to thy golden sun's presence that you are forming inside me. I have turned my attention to the physical sun that provides light to the earth. I have turned my attention to the great central sun, the source of light and creation of our universe. In preparation for the Ascending Hearts Conclave, I call to my higher mental body, beloved Helios and Vesta of our physical sun, the beings of the golden robes of the physical sun, and to the great cosmic beings in the great central sun, to bring into alignment a cosmic triangulation of the three suns. The sun that was always supposed to form inside me, the physical sun and the great central sun. In preparation for this Ascending Hearts Conclave, I call upon you to bring into alignment the three suns that I have recognized. Triangulate their great lines of force. And with this done, I am a golden sun's presence that is one with the golden sun's presence of our physical sun, that is one with the golden sun's presence of the great central sun. I am raised, I am ready for all the gifts of this Ascending Hearts Conclave that prepares us for this seventh golden age. I decree this shall be for each and every one of you. God bless you, beloved family. I thank you.